Hi guys, it is Deb Acker, and I am so grateful that you are here. And so I really wanted just to share a little bit about my story and how I got on this path. And for me, my journey has not been an easy one. It actually starts when I'm less than 2 years old and my dad is leaving our house. And while at the time, of course, he was leaving my mom, my 2-year-old self had no way to differentiate between him leaving her and him leaving me. And what I would later come to realize is that during that time, I took on many subconscious and unconscious conclusions. Two of the biggest ones being that I would always be left because, after all, my dad was leaving. The second one being that love equaled leaving because, of course, my dad loved me. And so, fast forward, I'm 17 years old, and my mother passes away from cancer. And of course, like you look at this, and it's by 17, I'd had two crazy and major, well, more than that, but two crazy and majorly traumatic events, right? And when I looked back at my mother passing away from cancer, I realized that I had played a role in co creating that reality. And to many, that might sound harsh, but for me, when I look back and I look at the fact that, when I'm 8 years old, I'm standing by our big bay window and I'm waiting for my mother to come home, but there's this fear that lives within me that I'm worried that my mother isn't going to come home, that she's not going to make it home that night. And what I would come to realize is I was putting that energy out into the world over and over and over again. Because after all, my mother was my primary support system. And so, of course, I was worried. And so, fast forward, I'm in my 20s, and of course, um, now the pattern of abandonment, the pattern of leaving is now showing up in my dating relationships. And we all know that ain't going well. And so what ends up happening is over and over and over again, people that I'm dating end up leaving. And while I had the awareness that all of this was stemming from when I'm at 2 years old and from my dad leaving, having that awareness wasn't enough to change that, to see it be different. And it was about 4.5 years ago where I was like done. I was like more than done. I was so ready for this to change. I was so ready for it to be different. And I was like prepared to do whatever it took in that moment to see a new outcome, to see something, to see it be different, right? Because I knew I deserved love. I knew I was meant to have love, and I wanted it desperately. And so I end up getting on this path. And it was at that point when I really went in search of, how do you clear patterns? How do you shift this? How do I create a new experience? Because after all, even when I was dating and I was like, this time is going to be different, like I was determined, it was going to be different in that moment. I was even like looking for the signs, like, oh, like like for instance, like this person was actually going to be wearing a sign, I'm not going to leave you. I was looking for the signs, and doing all of that wasn't changing anything. And it was at that point when I really realized that, these moments in childhood hold so much energy. And a huge reason why they hold all of that energy is because the little girl, the little boy that lives within us wants to have that voice in that moment. But of course, we're little kids, and so we don't have the consciousness, the awareness to be able to have that voice. So what ends up happening instead is these memories, whether it's something big like, a parent leaving, or it's something smaller like your mother telling you no, you want a piece of chocolate and she tells you no. Those moments get stored in our body, and then they become magnetizers for our present day experience. And then when we go to change our present day experience or make a new choice, we wonder why, someone keeps leaving us. We wonder why we keep getting rejected. And what I realize is you actually have to take the energy off of the initial moment to recreate a new experience in your current reality. Another way to look at this too is so many times why we're living in the past or living in the future is because of these moments that, hold so much energy, these moments that hold so much charge. And so as I took this path, as I took this journey, what I realized was that, as I started to really look at all these moments that happened in childhood, and these moments that, they had a lot of pain, they held a lot of emotion, I realized that, to get to the joy, that first of all, everything is joy in disguise, which might be kind of a big idea, but I just realized, like, it's all joy in disguise. It's all light in disguise. But even more than that, that we have to start to honor our pain. We have to start to honor our emotions. We get taught from when we're little kids to stuff everything down, pretend it's not there, push it away, run away from it, every version of not feeling our emotions. And I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, I was told I was too emotional. And so I didn't value that piece of me. And what I came to realize is, first of all, I'm an empath, just like many of us out there. And I came to realize that our emotions are our guidance system, and they're meant to help us guide us, and meant to help us, to really own and honor our emotions, to own and honor our pain. And, another awareness that has come to me is that, as a soul, like, if I wanted it to be all good, I actually wouldn't have come down into my physical body. So as a soul, what I came here for, I came here for the full experience, which means the highs and the lows, right? It means the ups and the downs. It means that, it's not just all about it being good or having this perfect life. I came here for the full on journey. And that if I could just, like, allow myself to own and embrace the journey, right? And to know, as I've taken this path, to know I can handle anything that's coming my way, right? It's in going into that pain, it's in going into those emotions, that I know that I can handle anything that's coming my way. But even more than that, can I embrace it, right? I always use the analogy, it's like you're on a roller coaster, and you can either, like, death grip it or you can put your hands up and lean in, right? And we're on the roller coaster of life. And so now the work that I do with my clients is really all about, being like, how do we own and embrace our pain, our emotions, our imperfections, right? And recognize, like I said, it's all joy in disguise. It's all light in disguise. And it's all, it's the reason why, if you move away from the joy, that's how you move into more and more joy. Because, we've got these energies and these emotions, and really, these energies and emotions we've stored in our body, right? So, many times it's fear, it's guilt, it's shame, it's control, it's grief, any of those sound familiar. And we store those in our bodies. And of course, they're like our baggage from our childhood. And of course, it's going to feel heavy, right? It's not even our stuff, right? And we're walking around and we're wondering why we feel so heavy. And as you clear those, as you shift those, you can move into higher and higher and higher energy states. You can move into feeling lighter, feeling more joyful. And it's, it's as you keep clearing more and more and more, where it's like continuous work over time, right? I know we are conditioned as humans to really think, like, something can change like that. And it can, but it's the work over time. It's investing in yourself. It's spending time and time again. It's being prepared not to leave yourself no matter what happens, that actually helps you to move into higher and lighter states, into more peace, into more calm, into more joy, and to know that no matter what is coming your way, you've got this. And so if this work is calling to you, if you're ready to clear your patterns, if you're ready to shift, right? The abandonment pattern that I described, I actually cleared it, right? And I remember, like, so many people, therapists, healers, other energy healers, talk to me about, like, oh, this is more about managing it, right? It's more about having the awareness and, being able to manage it in those situations. But I'm here to tell you, like, if you are ready to put in the work, if you are ready to put in the time, to put in the effort, and to really put the work in, I can help you to shift and clear it, right? It's just moving in time and time again to move you into that next layer of energy, that next layer of emotions. And so really, like, if you're ready to change, right? And you don't have to know, like, you're ready. If you have a desire in your life, it's because it's meant to be fulfilled. And I think that's just really important. I want to just say that one more time. If you have a desire in your life, it's because it is meant to be fulfilled. And you don't have to know what's stopping you from having that abundance. You don't have to know what's stopping you from having that love, from having whatever it is that you desire in your life. I go into my intuition and I can identify it at age 5, with your mom, you experienced this rejection, and now it's creating rejection in your modern day world. And so whatever patterns are in your way of really living the life and having the life that you want to have, and just knowing you can handle anything that's coming your way, and embracing this roller coaster that we call life, I just want to help you. And so if you feel called, just click on the contact page of my website and let's talk, let's connect, and let's see, let's talk about like where you want to be, where you are now, and let's talk about how I can really help you get there. And so I'm so grateful to you for watching this video. I'm so grateful for you to being here, and I'm just sending you so much love, so much light, so much abundance, and I look forward to connecting soon. Thanks so much.